I am BK, your English teacher from BK Sweat English. Today I'm gonna teach you guys about the sentence. What is the sentence? Sentence is, we can say that it is the smallest part of a paragraph of or your opinion or your purpose to transfer to other or to talk to other or to write to other. So there are clauses in a sentence. Many names, many kinds of the clauses could be, but the main clauses are the independent clause and the dependent clause in a sentence. A sentence starts from a point and ends at a point. Sentence could be a longer, a big group of words, a big information, or a sentence could be a smaller group of words or a smaller information. It depends on the situation. Either you are transferring bigger information or you are transferring smaller information. Or you can place many informations in your sentence while breaking through the commas and the clauses, or you can put a smaller information in a sentence, and depends on the information as well. Either it's a bigger information or a smaller information. So we have some details on the whiteboard. Let's go on the whiteboard and try to more clear the things on the whiteboard. Okay, thank you. Sentence. There are clauses in a sentence. One clause is called the independent clause, the other is called the dependent clause. And there are the main objects in a sentence or the main things in a sentence, SVO, subject, verb, object. And the further object have got two kinds of them, the direct objects and the indirect objects. Okay. Now see here, subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object. Every sentence must have at least one independent clause. It should be clear. If there is a sentence cannot give you clear information until there is no independent clause. जब तक एक जुमले के अंदर इंडिपेंडेंट क्लास नहीं होगा तो आपको मतलब क्लियर नहीं करके देगा. इंडिपेंडेंट क्लास हर जुमले के अंदर एक न एक, कम से कम एक इंडिपेंडेंट क्लास तो जरूर होना चाहिए. That's okay. It is object completes the meaning of verb. The work of the object, the function of the object in a sentence is to complete the meaning of the verb, like who, how, why, where, the question. So it completes the meaning of the verb who, the object. Okay. For example, a simple example. I write. Now while I'm writing, there is needed an object. Until there is no object, we are not putting object, so the verb's meaning is not clear. I'm writing an essay, a paragraph, a sentence, an article, penning, what? If I put there an object, so the object clears the meaning of the verb in the sentence. So that's why object is necessary to clarify the verb, the function of the verb, to tell us the meaning of the verb. Okay, that's okay. Now here, there are two types of object, direct object and indirect. Like I told you that there are two main types of the object, direct object and indirect object. Okay, that's okay. Now we put here an example about the objects, like see here, that's an example. She gave Mary a letter. Now letter is direct object because it's telling about the verb. Verb is gave. Now she gave. What did she give? She gave Mary. What did she give to the Mary? She gave a letter. Now the main purpose and the function and the meaning of the verb gave is being clear by letter. If we say up to here, she gave Mary. Now we don't know the purpose of or the function of gave, the verb, that what did she give her. So the object tells us or or tells us the meaning or clears the verb to us. So that's why in this example, once again, she gave Mary a letter. Now, she is subject, gave is verb, Mary is indirect object. That's indirect object. Why? Because over the object we work. Now, later, she worked, she did an action which is gave. She did action on what? On a letter. What did she do with a letter? She gave a letter. To whom? Again, there has been some work or someone, that's Mary. So this is indirect object, that's direct object in a sentence. So she gave, she subject, gave verb, Mary, indirect object, because Mary is also an object, but indirect object, not direct. Direct object is letter. The direct object is given to indirect object. Okay? There is subcomplements complete, subject complements completes the meaning of subject in a sentence. For example, she is a subject, rest of the sentence along with indirect object and verb, this is a complement. What is the job of a complement in a sentence? The job of a complement in a sentence is to complete the meaning or the purpose of, or tell us something about the subject. Okay, that's okay. See here, for example, we say something here about the complements. How a complement tells us some things about the subject. See here, I'm Canadian. Now, I is a subject, M is something else. That's like copula or linking verb or to tell us the status. Now it tells here the status. M is telling the status. This is be verb it here. And this is not working like ing or something else. This just tells us the status. अब यहाँ पर ये सिर्फ स्टेटस को जाहिर कर रहा है कि मैं कनेडियन हूँ, यानी कनाडा होना मेरा ये बता रहा है. ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम, दिस इज क्लियर. I'll teach you about the M, the copulas or the linking verbs in my other video, but just you keep in your mind it here, M is working like to show the status. My status is I am Canadian. Okay, I is a subject, Canadian is a complement. Now, Canadian is a complement. It completes the purpose or the meaning of I, the subject. Sentence complement, subject complement tells us the things about the subject. The complement tells us the things about the subject. Now, here is I is a subject and Canadian is a complement, and complement tells us about the subject. That subject is from Canada. Okay? That's okay. Canadian completes the meaning of I, complement. If we say Canadian, just Canadian, no clear meaning, I am what? I am is nothing. Complement is necessary in a sentence for the subject in order to we understand the things about the subject. I am Canadian, that's okay. Now it's here, one other example. The weatherman must be wrong about today's forecast. Now see here, the weatherman always tells us about the weather in the future happenings. There will be wind, there will be storm, there will be raining on this part of a Canary region or the world. There will be rains in future 24 hours or next year or months, or storms or winds or anything. So these are the works of the forecasters. Now here is a sentence. The weatherman must be wrong about today's forecast. It means must be wrong. There are two meanings of the must. Must tells us about the possibility and must tells us about the obligation or the necessity. In this sentence, must doesn't tell us about the obligation or the necessity. Must tells us here about the possibility. there is a possibility about the forecaster because, for example, last night we heard in news that the forecaster was telling us that today there would be raining. But when we got up in the morning, there is sunny day, the weather is clear. So we could say that the weatherman must be wrong about today's forecast. Why? Because we heard last night in the news from the forecaster that there would be raining or storms or not unclear weather for today, like clouds and stuff. But everything is clear. So now we are just telling about some possibility about the forecaster, that forecaster must be wrong. Must is not working here as a necessary thing, but must is working here as a possibility. So now see here, about today's forecast is a complete of a subject. Okay, there is wrong. This must be about today's forecaster is working about wrong. Now the forecaster must be wrong. Wrong about what? This wrong needs a complement. When this is required for a complement, so this is its complement. If we say the weatherman must be wrong, wrong about what? Now this wrong needs some explanation that he is wrong for today's forecast. So that's why about today's forecast is the complement of a wrong, of the wrong. And it here, the weatherman must be wrong. Now wrong is coming again to the man. Wrong is a complement for the man because the weatherman must be wrong. Who is wrong? The man. The word wrong is telling us some things about the man. And about today's forecaster tells us the things, or this is the complement of the wrong. They say, okay, we call them the complements because they answer the questions about the who, what, etc. Like where, when, why, how. So they answer these things. So we say the complements. Okay, for example, I went. Now I went. What does it mean? I went. Where did I go? I went. Someone can say, where did you go? I have to complete the things with a complements. See here, I went to the store. Now, to the store is, I went to the store is my complement of my subject. I went to the store. This is the complement of the subject. So complement tells us about the function or the completion of a subject's purpose. Okay. Now we do some mix one, like mixed clauses. See here, I went to the market to buy stock for the whole week this morning. See here, I went to the market to buy the stock for a whole week this morning. Now this is a complete information. I did something. What did I do? I went to the market this morning. I bought so many stuff what I needed for the whole coming week. So now I'm not worried about my whole coming week because I bought the stuff, the stock for my entire coming week. So now I'm not worried. So I don't care. I'm careless. I'm free. Because every day we have to buy some stuff for our household necessaries, but now I bought the stock, so it's a mixed clause, complements everything, a complete sentence. The main purpose of learning SVO, subject, verb, object, or complements, or clauses, conditions, verbs, adverbs, stuff, so many stuff, is the main purpose is to make a complete and or a correct sentence while adding these components. So the main purpose is to first build a sentence, and if we can build a correct sentence while using these grammatical things. So then we are able to build an entire paragraph, essay, or a conversation orally in English. This is the main purpose of these things. All of them are complements. Complements, everywhere some subject is necessary, because until there is no subject, there is no action. Action is made by a subject. Nothing is spontaneous. Nothing is spontaneous. Nothing happens by like directly or by itself. There is every action has got some actions behind it, either open or hidden. Either we see or not, but there is something behind everything to perform or display. Okay, I hope that this is clear for you. You got the picture of the sentence. But if still something is to be asked, you can comment through my comment box, or you can contact me through my WhatsApp number. That's 032289. I write it here. 032289318990. This is my WhatsApp number. You can use this just for learning the stuff yet here, not for other purposes. Thank you very much.